The measurement of on-market performance of the medicine will inform the decision makers and users of the medicines. So, and lastly, the improved engagement of the patients and healthcare professional will increase the impact in the pharmacovigilance. So basically, the regulators would like to more interact with the patients as well as healthcare professional to make understanding of how the system should work in the pharmacovigilance, rather than having a like, of course pharmaceutical companies are important, but nowadays people are, or regulators are giving more importance to the patients as well as healthcare professionals, and specifically this scenario has changed after post COVID era. Okay, so again, let us shift the gears. We have now discussed the fundamentals of pharmacovigilance. We also discussed the how the it is being transformed now. I want to now take you through the how the you can build your career in pharmacovigilance, right? So yeah, this is a story. I would like to tell a short story. I think everyone since childhood will like the story, right? So this is my story. Basically, after completing MBBS, when I joined the pharmacology department, I was not at all aware like where I will go after completing my post graduation, and there was a constant confusion at the end of post graduation also. Maybe in the third year or end of the third year, I was not aware that okay, which branch I will take. I was aware that there are different domains in pharma company which we can take, but frankly speaking, I was not at all aware about the pharmacovigilance domain. I was just knowing pharmacovigilance because in our department we are doing some ADR monitoring activity and all, but apart from that I didn't had a clue like where I will go. And somehow I got opportunity to work in the pharmacovigilance in my first company, and now it's more than 10 years I'm working in the same industry, or I would say same department, same domain. So I may it may be your story as well. You may be able to correlate, but don't worry. Yeah, until unless we are doing the job, we won't be able to understand what exactly is going on, right? So I want to say that what are the pros and cons of working in the as a pharmacovigilance professional? I would say it's a noble profession where we are serving a lot of patients indirectly. If you take example of the clinician, right? So they are just treating few of the patients, and they are treating them only, and they are serving them only, I would say, right? But on the other hand, in our industry, we are taking care of the whole population. So this is really a noble profession according to me. Then we are working in a global environment. We are working for the regulators like US FDA and EMA. So it's not just the Indian regulator, but we are also working for the outside. And then if you are getting involved in such work, I would say it's a great, it's a great opportunity. There will be a minimal travel. So why I have mentioned pros and cons, because if someone is liking the travel, they may consider it as a con. But if someone wants a day's job, specifically female employees, where they have to manage their family, they have to manage their kids and all, then it's very difficult for them to travel. Then this may be a pros for them. Usually the desk job with fixed for office hours, but of course that asterisk marks is there, conditions applied. It's not a government job, right? You are working in an industry, you have to meet the deadlines. Then of course there will be days where you have to extend your working hours, but that's fine. But at the end, you are having, according to me, you will be having the good work life balance if you are joining the pharmacovigilance. And lastly, the hybrid working model. Nowadays companies are giving the hybrid models, which means you may have to work for from the office for 2 days or 3 days, and then remaining day you can work from the home. So it is also overall giving a good work life balance, I would say. And there is a possibility of remote working as well in this field, which may not be feasible for each and every field. Okay, how to be a right fit? What qualities you should have to be kind of easily selected in this particular field? So first thing is good knowledge on the drug developmental process, right? As I mentioned, animal studies as well as different phases of the trial. You should be aware about the good clinical practices, even though it comes under efficacy aspect, but still, as a pharmacovigilance professional, if you have the idea, then it will be good for you. Then of course our pharmacovigilance concept. So this is what I was about to referring you in the earlier slides. Like, you should be knowing the Indian pharmacovigilance guideline, you should be knowing the good pharmacovigilance modules by the EMA, you should be aware about the CMS guidelines. You need to review the recent publications. There are many good drug safety journals available, so you just have to go through the recent publication, what is happening, right? You may be able to find these articles on artificial intelligence and all in this. Then You should develop the scientific writing skills and do the paper publication, because this will helpful if, say for example, you are taking the medical writing in pharmacovigilance. So in the writer will be responsible for writing the documents like RMP or DSUR or aggregate reports. Then if you have done such publications, it will be quite helpful for you. Then you should also do oral or poster presentation in the PV conferences, right? So because of course this will help you to build the good communication skills. And in pharmacovigilance, there will be a day in and day out where you may have to present the safety topics in different forums. Then this experience will definitely be helpful. You should generously utilize the LinkedIn account and connect with people already working in the PV field. Probably it will help you to get better connection, and it will also help help you in future to get the job, and also to understand what is happening in particular thing. But again, as I said, generous use means you should not just be on LinkedIn account for the whole day, but yeah, you should spend some time, maybe once in a week or something, to just understand what is happening. And lastly, you should take some short courses which can help you to gain knowledge on the pharmacovigilance, because all the life science graduates or postgraduate may not be having good knowledge of what is pharmacovigilance. It may not be part of their curricula, right? So if you take some courses for 3 months or 6 months, you will definitely have a good knowledge on this, and then that will be helpful for you to get a good job. Okay, you should be proactive, right? Self motivated, ready to take up the new challenges. So this is very very important. It's not like a reactive personality, that okay, someone, if someone, my manager will tell me to do some activity, I will do, otherwise I will just sit like that. No, it should not be the approach. If you are in the industry, or it is, I think, applicable for all the industry, not just pharmacovigilance, that you should be having the approach that you want to take the new challenges, you want to learn something. As earlier discussed, everything has to be done in a team. So you should be a good team player. You cannot do anything in silo, right? Good, you should have good verbal and communication skills, specifically in English language. So this is very very important in pharmacovigilance. You are dealing with people of different geographic, so that's why also it's important. And whenever you are writing the document, you cannot make silly mistakes. Time management is very important. Everything is having, everything, whatever work you are doing is having the deadline, right? So you have to meet the deadline. So that's why time management is very very important. Good presentation skills, we already know. Good knowledge on the basic Microsoft application, because you will be 100% working on the computers, and if you don't know this Microsoft applications well, yeah, I think it won't be helpful for you to work in a seamless manner. So that's why it's very important to have good knowledge on Word, PowerPoint, as well as Excel. These are the kind of most frequently used apps. You should have the good decision making at one stage. Once you will be there as a senior position, you have to take decision, right? So if you have the good decision making skill from the beginning, it will be helpful. And lastly, good negotiation skill. Of course, we have to change the job, so for the salary and for other aspects, you should have that good negotiation skill. Okay, so once you are in the company, you have to be a life learner, and you have to seek for the constant feedback. That is very, very important to improve yourself. Okay, at no stage anyone can say that I have learned everything about pharmacovigilance and I cannot make any mistake. If someone is saying that, that's totally wrong. I would say you have to be a life learner, right? There is a differences in work when compared to pharmaceutical company as compared to the contract research organization. So each have some pros and cons, and you have to decide what you want. Of course, there can be a shift from company to CRO and from CRO to company, so it's not a big deal. You have to focus on the work profile and not just salary. So if you're just focusing on salary, if you're just changing the job just because of salary, then I think that's not justifiable. Switching the job, it may be internal transfer. So some of the good MNCs, they also provide the internal transfer option. So where you have worked in the ICSR domain for 2 years, now there is an opportunity in aggregate report. If you are interested, then they will allow you to shift your job profile. Okay, and of course externally you can go for better growth and development. One important thing which I have learned is you should not have any geographical boundaries. Okay, you should be ready to move to anywhere in the India. And specifically, I would say as of now, current scenario is 80% of the jobs are in the Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, or Pune. So, say for example, if you are from New Delhi and if you think no, I will only be in New Delhi, I don't want to move anywhere out, then you are just restricting yourself. Actually, there are There are so many opportunities available outside, and if you are just focusing on one geographical area, then I would say you are just harming yourself. Okay. Now, three things are very important: take care of yourself and your family, have a good work life balance. That is very important, because once you are entered in the job, it will be for lifelong, right? So you also have to spend some time with you and with your family. And also there should be a good work life balance. Like, it's not like that you always work work work. No, there are weekends. You companies will also give you the good amount of leaves that you can enjoy. You should enjoy your vacations, etc. Follow a passion outside the work. You should have some passion, either in the sports or music or anything, because sometimes the work becomes monotonous, right? uh, Day in day out you are doing only one thing. It may be monotonous for anyone. So if you have a passion, then I think it will be quite helpful. And last point is very important. Even though I'm not a financial advisor, but yeah, start saving and investing when you start earning. Okay, at least 20% of your take home salary you should invest. That is very, very important. Okay, with some punchlines, I would like to finish my session now. It is not doing what you like, but it is liking what you do. That is a secret of happiness. So it doesn't mean that if you are in one domain, then just continue with the domain. It may happen that once you are entered in the pharmacovigilance, after 6 months you think that no, this is not my cup of tea. Then of course you can move to another domain. You can move to medical affairs or regulatory affairs, anything, whatever suits your profile. You can also go back to academia, right? So it totally depends on you. There is no harm. So you should always be ready to change. If you are not liking, then of course you should change, but otherwise you should like your profession. Don't think about past, don't worry about the future, live and enjoy the present life. You should be in the present moment. That is very, very important nowadays. Okay, it's known as mindfulness. So that is very important. Don't worry about the past, what will happen, where I will get my job. Just focus on the current. And some people ask, like, up to where I can go once I'm in the pharmacovigilance industry, how much I can earn, and all those questions. So here I would say sky is the limit. There is no any limit. Okay, if you have the potential, then definitely you can grow like anything. It totally depends on you, your luck, your hard work, and what kind of opportunities you are getting throughout your career. Okay, so with this, we can have the Q&A session. These are some of the references which I have listed down. Maybe whatever you can go through if further interested. And yeah, this is just a thank you note, and I have a LinkedIn profile. This is the link, so you can find me here. Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
Priyanka, that's all from my side. I hope it was students
Yes,
enjoyed my session,
indeed.
and we can have for the Q. We can go ahead with the Q&A.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
indeed, it was valuable, and I hope that I can see that our students must have sparkled a lot of interest. Thank you so much for informative and valuable session. Yes, students, the forum is open for Q&A session. You can go ahead with the sessions and make the most of it. Please
Yeah,
unmute
I
yourself.
had a question.
Yeah, yeah, Shreya, please go ahead.
So yeah, I wanted to ask, so most of us, like, we need to start as drug safety associate. Most of the
Hmm.
companies, they start with that. So we
Okay.
have DSA level 1, DSA level 2. So I
Mhm.
wanted to know, like, after some time, let's say 3 or 4 or 5 years, what are
Mhm.
the other options that we have? Like, either we can go into leadership roles, or what all can we do in specifically in the PV field to grow?
Yeah, so that's a good question. As you said, Shreya, usually again it depends on the company to company. There will be variation. So the kind of title which they are giving. So it may be DSA 1, 2 in some company. Some other companies are giving pharmacovigilance associate. Some companies are giving medical writing position. So it totally depends on vary from company to company. There will be, once you enter in any job, there will be definitely like there will be some upscaling which you will be able to understand within a particular company. So usually in a role in Indian scenario, I would say usually the company keeps you in a particular role for 2 to 3 years, and then after there will be some next role available. Okay, the moment you go up, there will be increasing responsibility. First you are, if in case if I talk about the ICSR, then maybe initially you are doing the data entry. After 2 to 3 years, you have gained a good knowledge. You will be doing the quality check. Once you have good knowledge of quality check, maybe you will be managing a team of 5 to 6 people. who are handling. Once you are good at team management, maybe they will give you one client which you have to handle, and you may have more resources under you. So yeah, this is a kind of ladder that different companies have. Now it depends on you whether you want to be in the same domain, you want to change the domain. So as I mentioned earlier, right, so some people don't like to just stay in one particular domain. If I would say, I have learned individual case safety reports and I have already learned it for 2 to 3 years, I may think, let me go to signal detection, let me go to risk management plan, let me go to aggregate reports, because sometimes it becomes very monotonous to just keep on working in the same domain, right? So then you may have to compromise a little bit on your ladder. It's a kind of expansion, I would say, horizontally and not vertically, because if you just vertically expand, you can't leave your field or domain. Okay, so it again, it's personal choice, because some people want to go on the top vertically, some people like that, I want a kind of end to end experience rather than just being stick to one particular role. So I hope I have
Uh,
answered your question.
Yeah, so you mentioned that medical writing is also an option.
Hmm.
Isn't the two of them are two different domains? Like medical writing is something else and pharmacovigilance is completely
No,
another.
no, it's not like that. So in pharmacovigilance also, some of the companies are saying medical writing, are giving the medical writing post for those people who are actually working on the aggregate reports, like PIBRAR or PSUR or risk management plan. So they will be basically take care of the writing portion, and there will be people or product specific, again from the safety, there will be product specific people who will be guiding them. Okay, what, how you should write the report. Basically all the medical inputs will be given by the physician as well as some pharmacovigilance scientist, and accordingly they will draft the report. On the other side, there is another domain of medical writing which is mainly focusing on the clinical trials, basically writing the investigator brochures or writing the clinical study protocol
Mhm.
as well as clinical study reports. So this is again one another medical writing domain, but it can be there in pharmacovigilance as well as in the clinical trials.
All right. Okay. And is ICSR is included in medical writing or it's completely
No,
specific to
no,
PV?
yeah, yeah. ICSR is different. ICSR usually is not under the medical writing domain, because there you don't have to write. You have to take care of the safety database and different fields of the safety database. So that's why it is different from the medical writing, I would say.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, currently I'm working in manufacturing site as a quality assurance officer.
okay.
So this experience will be getting counted in the this PV or pharmacovigilance.
See, in pharmacovigilance, frankly speaking, because the experience which you have is from the manufacturing side, so they won't consider. But on the other hand, in pharmacovigilance, we also have overall the quality assurance as well as a kind of QC department. So maybe you can say that your role is a little bit similar to what these QA professionals are doing in pharmacovigilance. So there you can try. There may be a possibility they may consider your CV there, and there you can have some role. You will just change your domain from manufacturing side to pharmacovigilance side, but still your core role will be still same. That is quality assurance. So that is a
Yes, yes.
possibility.
I'm B
Yeah.
Pharm graduate, sir.
Sorry.
I'm B Pharm graduate, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but so only thing is, whenever you have some experience, okay, in case you are interested for a field, then on the other hand, maybe after doing some courses, you may just have to leave that aside, and you may be ready to take up the any particular field from the scratch, because they will
Yes, yes,
say you don't have relevant experience, then why we should consider. Then you have to show your passion about the field. Okay,
yes, yes,
I want I'm not maybe you can say I'm not very I am not finding my field as appropriate for me for the future, maybe, but I am very passionate about the pharmacovigilance. I have done some of the courses. I have read this guidelines and all, and I know the basics. Of course, by reading you can't know everything, right? Hardly it's a 10 to 15% you may be able to understand, but otherwise only by doing you will be able to understand what is actually happening in particular system. So likewise you can showcase your interest, and I think like companies may consider it. There is no any doubt about it.
thank you, sir. It's all my.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Durga.
Good evening, sir. Uh,
Good evening.
sir, actually, I am from a MSc Medical Pharmacology background,
Mm-hmm.
and I have like 6 years experience in academics. Like I work as an assistant professor.
Okay.
So, like now, currently, I'm pursuing this PG diploma in clinical
Mm-hmm.
research.
Mm-hmm.
So, how what roles I should be looking for? So, does this experience count, or you know, how do I go ahead? That is
Yeah.
my question.
Yeah. Yeah. So, first of all, usually in industry they don't consider academic experience. Okay. So they just consider it. You have to start as a fresher in case you are coming to the industry. So that is first and foremost thing. With respect to your field, that is MSc pharmacology, I would say in the industry I have not seen many people who are working with this profile in the pharmacovigilance. But considering that you have a good amount of experience or knowledge of pharmacovigilance specifically, and sorry, pharmacology, right? So where we so say for example, I'm also pharmacology, I'm also having pharmacology background, and all the MPharm students who are coming, usually they have this specialization in pharmacology. Then according to me, of course you have a good potential, because in companies, if you see the job postings, they will not specify that you should be a B farm or M farm, or you should be yeah, of course for physician they will specifically mention that we want MBBS MD. But otherwise for other domains, say for example scientist role, or as someone mentioned earlier, DSA role, they won't specify that we only want B farm M farm. They will say life science graduates or postgraduates, or anyone maybe after B farm, if you have done some course of clinical research, then also it will be helpful. So for you, I would say there are opportunities open. Yeah, you just have to think what you like, what you want, and it's not all about pharmacovigilance for you. I would also say there is a there the clinical trial domain or clinical development domain is also open. So in case you are interested, you can also try there. So it totally depends on your interest and in what area, or what field you want to explore. Okay.
Okay, sir. And one last question. The
Hmm.
Does the age matter? Like, I mean, when
No.
they now I'll be considered as fresher only, but I'm in my
Yeah.
30s. So does it really matter or something like
it
that?
doesn't it doesn't matter it's only matter if you feel so. That's it. If you think that no, it's okay, even at the age of 30 I want to explore, it's okay. My manager will be having the less age than me. If you are fine with it, then yeah, no one can stop you. But if you have that kind of attitude that you cannot work with someone who is of lesser age than you, then I think it's difficult. And I think once you are in the industry, you should just don't think about all these aspects. What you think is whether I am doing something which I am liking, and whether I am getting paid fairly. If it, and whether my work life balance is okay, then I think it's everything is fine. Because it's, as I mentioned earlier, it all depends on how you change the companies, at what stage you have entered, what kind of opportunities you have been given with, what was your luck during the entire time, right? So there are so many factors, so it happens. It doesn't matter.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much for a wonderful
Yeah,
session.
Good evening, sir.
welcome. Yeah, Chaitra.
Yeah, sir.
Good
Actually, I'm
evening.
in my final year of my graduation, which I
Mm-hmm.
haven't completed. Within 4 to 5 months, I'll be finishing my graduation,
Okay.
and I have joined in the combination batch of clinical research and SAS.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how I need to, like, I was in a confusion that where I need to concentrate on vigilance or SAS, or how,
Mm.
like, what are the options I'm open to
So
as a
so
fresher.
graduation, yeah, graduation means
Life
which
sciences,
field?
chemistry.
Okay, so is it BSc chemistry?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, again, Chaitra. So you, because you are already doing the courses, right? So based on the courses, you have to first identify which interests you more, as compared to SAS, or it's a clinical trial, or it's a pharmacovigilance. Like, you have to identify your interest area, because no one else will be able to tell you that where you should go. You only have to take decision that I want to go in this field because I am liking the field. Okay, there are opportunities for everything. Okay, I think for SAS, SAS means it will be more linked with the statistics, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
yes.
Yeah, so it will be statistics. So we have value for statistics in the industry, because in all clinical trial we want the biostatisticians who will be constantly there to support the global clinical development as well as global patient safety teams, right? You, of course, there will be clinical trials ongoing, and of course we want pharmacovigilance to ensure that continuous safety of the product. So as such, if you see, all the fields are there, which will be definitely growing in future. Okay, and nowadays in India particularly, we are having some good MNCs who are coming from outside, and they are having their global R&D center in India, because of course it's a cost saving option, and also like they can perceive that we are getting a good potentials from India, and that's the reason now companies are moving in this direction rather than outsourcing a work to CRO. They want to have their own center, R&D center in India, where they will recruit for these different profiles. So Chaitra, I would say there is nothing which probably anyone can tell you. You just have to decide which field you are liking. And suppose after entering in world field, say for example you entered in SAS, and after 6 months you thought, no, it's not my cup of tea, maybe I want to do something else. Then yeah, there will be doors open. You can of course change your field. So it's nothing like once you are there means you have to be there, right? Yeah, only thing I would say, you have to take whatever decision you want to make. It should be in due course of time. Like, you should not wait for 5 years and then you say, now I want to change the domain. Then it will be difficult. It's not like
Yes.
it's not possible, but it's a difficult. You may have to then compromise your salary and all. But yeah, at least in next first 6 months to 1 year, you should be understanding what you want and
What
what you
I'm good
like.
at.
Exactly. Yeah. And ultimately, it's all about interest, I would say. You should not do anything without interest. If you are having some interest, then yeah, I don't think it will be then a roadblock for you. Oh, you will definitely like the field.
So, as a small question is, does masters is mandatory after completing my graduation?
Masters, so getting the job, I don't think master is
Yeah.
mandatory, but
Mm.
usually with respect to promotions and all, sometimes it adds the value, because when you want to step up higher for the higher position, then this particular whether you are having the master degree or not, it is being considered. And it also have the additional advantage when you want to switch the job. So suppose there is a new opportunity in some company, that you just imagine there will be so many people who will be applying, right? So just by looking at the CV, if you have the bachelor degree and on the other end there are some other candidates who are having master degree, they will
Mm.
definitely be given extra percentage of value as compared to you, right? So it's not 100% rule, but like that's what people or HR looks at the CV, and also the hiring manager, which also sees, okay, this person is also having 3 years of experience. On the other end, this person is also 3 years of experience, but the person holds master degree, so that may give some extra advantage. So if you can do, I would say, yeah, you should do. Nowadays we also have options to do the even master degree as a kind of distant learning or something, then you can opt for it.
Is the job like in the job, like job is mandatory, right? I have
Hmm.
joined this for job.
Yeah.
In 6 months I'll be completing my graduation, so why to waste another 6 months? So I thought of doing this. But
Yeah.
if masters is mandatory, how come
No.
quit the
Again,
job?
I said it's not mandatory. See, it totally depends on you. If you want
But
to
if I
do,
want to get good salary and good position, definitely that matters now, sir.
yeah, yeah.
So how
So
can
what you
I?
can do, yeah,
Uh,
what you can do is maybe you can look out for the job once you complete your post, you complete your graduation as well as this course, and then you can see in next 6 months what type of opportunities you are getting. If you think
mm,
that no, the opportunities which I'm getting is, or whatever salary or with respect to position I'm getting is not up to the mark, and
mm.
which is being given to the master degree holder, then at that time you have to take the decision whether you want to go ahead with the job or you want to like to opt for the master degree,
Okay,
right?
sir.
that
Okay, sir.
that would
Thank
be
you.
the right approach, and that's how we should proceed for the same.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I'm a BMS doctor.
Mhm.
So my question is, as a fresher, can I enter in pharmacovigilance domain, or which domain is good for me as a BMS doctor?
Yeah, means I would say in pharmacovigilance, particularly if you see the scenario of almost 15 years to 20 years before there, you will find many BMS, BHMS doctors as well as many of the dental practitioners who are actually working in the field. But nowadays, recently, since last 10 years, I would say they are whenever they are saying physician, usually they are giving more preference to MBBS candidates, as well as some company specifies that we want MD candidates. Of course, they have some roles accordingly, but BMS as well as BHMS as of now, what I see and what the other companies usually are following, like they also consider them along with the other life science graduates. So there is no bar. Yeah, depending on your interest, based on the vacancy, based on the requirement, you can proceed with any of the domains. So usually the job, whatever job you will see, either it will be particularly in ICSR or aggregate reports, or maybe sometimes RMP, so or signal detection as well, or uh, in job profile they may write everything, and then once you enter the company, they will assign you one particular domain. So there is a possibility like that. So yeah, you can opt for anything. I don't see any issue with the same.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
So I'm currently working as a lecturer. I have master's
Uh-huh.
in botany with biochemistry specialization.
Mm-hmm.
What I wanted to ask was similar to that of Rana and Durga,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm in academics. So
Mm.
what role would best suit me, in which I'll be able to utilize my academic experiences, or I'll have to start as a fresher only?
Yeah, Soumya. So as I mentioned earlier, mostly they will not consider your academic experience as relevant for the industry. So they will say you will have to start as a fresher only. And I think this is also same in case from industry you want to go back to academics, they will still consider you as a fresher only, right? Because generally these experiences are not being considered. So again, now coming back to your question, and I think similar questions also other people are having. So ultimately, it's just totally on your interest. Oh, what field do you like, and accordingly you should proceed.
So what concerns me sometimes is, are
Hmm?
these degrees, other than, because we are different from the pharma industry, though we have
Hmm.
life science knowledge. So are
Uh,
these degrees acceptable when we try to join the industry?
yeah, I mean, it again depends on the company, because if the company does not specify that we only and only want people from pharma background, say for example B Farm, M Farm, they, as I said, usually the companies are open to any life science graduates. So in those scenarios, of course you will be able to you will be the right match for the profile, and you can go ahead and apply. Okay, but if the company is very specific that no, we only want BPharm, MPharm, and it also depends on the position, one particular position, then they may not consider you. It happens. But according to me, you should try. Okay, sometimes even based on the profile or based on the job requirement, you may see that okay, I don't have this much experience, or I'm not, you may think that I'm not right fit because I'm not matching all the points. But still, if you think that no, at least 50-60% I am matching with the profile, then you can of course give a try, because at least you will learn something from the interview, right? So there is no any loss, I would say. You will gain something only, even though you won't be selected, but still there will be some gain for you.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the session.
Okay, yeah, welcome. So do we have any additional question? I think we are already on top of our hour.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good
I have
evening.
a small query.
Hmm.
Which module gets good scope in future among clinical research, pharmacovigilance, regulatory affairs, and clinical data management, sir?
This is this we can only decide when we go in the future, right? So all the fields, whatever you told, are having the value in the company. Okay, this all fields are having the value in the pharma industry. So you cannot say that this field is less important, this field is more important. Okay, but yeah, it may happen that over a period of time, some particular field may have more kind of more jobs. It may be it may look more lucrative as compared to others. So say for example, for pharmacovigilance, if you compare, then you may say, okay, clinical research, those who are in clinical trial, I'm just giving one example. Okay, in
Okay.
clinical trial, people are getting a salary, starting salary of 4 lakhs. On the other hand, in pharmacovigilance, we are getting starting salary of 3 lakhs. So this type of differences could be there. And also with respect to opportunity, there could be differences in future. We don't know that. Okay, but according to me, what you should follow is what is giving interest, or what is according to you what interests you more. You should follow that, rather than just thinking that okay, this field is more lucrative, let me go there.
Actually, my background is M-Pharmacy, sir.
Okay.
That's why I asked you this question, which one is better for masters?
Yeah, again, master degree holders are in pharmacovigilance, also in clinical data management, also in clinical research, clinical trial, also. So everywhere you'll be able to find the master degree holder. So it totally depends on what field you want to go ahead with. And sometimes it also depends, say for example, you are located somewhere and you want to stick to that location and you don't want to go out, right? Then
Okay.
you have to just take the job which is kind of being offered first to you, because sometimes start like entering in the industry is sometimes difficult, because first job is very very important. So say suppose you enter in pharmacovigilance, you are more inclined towards clinical trials, but somehow you got in entered in pharmacovigilance, and after 6 months to 1 year, you feel that no, I am liking the field, there is no issues, then you may continue with the same. If you think no, I'm not liking, let me switch to another one. Yeah, that is also opportunity.
Sir, actually, I have a 5 years experience, same as that of academic experience only.
Uh-huh.
So, is it possible, like, we are doing 5 years to 6 years having, academic experience, and if we
Mm-hmm.
are enter into one domain,
Mm-hmm.
then find out that I want to switch to other domain. So is that
Mm-hmm.
okay? Like, already we have an experience. Of course, they will consider as in future.
Uh-huh.
Age criteria is also better.
So age criteria, as I said earlier, until unless you feel that I am little bit aged as compared to the fresher, then only it will matter. If you don't feel that it will matter, if you don't feel from your end, I don't think it will matter, because for company they will never see that what age you are having. Okay, when I was working in my previous company, I had the colleague who is of like who was handling the same position with me, and she was almost 13 years old as compared to myself. So yeah,
Okay.
and there could be some colleagues who might be 5 to 7 years less, having less age than me. So there is always a possibility of everything. So age doesn't matter. Okay, here like in learning also, we always say for the academics that age doesn't matter. If you want to learn anything, or if you want to take course, and any time you should take, right? You should not think that okay, I'm already 40, I'm already 50, I should not study. No, it's not like that. Similarly in company also, it's not like that. And regarding the switching of the profile, so as I mentioned earlier, if you just continue with the same profile or same domain maybe for more years, then it will be difficult for you to switch. But if you just sense that thing that no, this is not for me, within first 6 months to 1 year, then it will be easy for you to switch. I don't think there will be any issues. But only thing is you have to sense that thing earlier. Yeah, otherwise also it will be possible, but then you have to compromise your salary, and that usually no one likes to do.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you so
Right.
much. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good evening, sir.
good evening.
Sir, for me, actually, I have a query relating to hiring of public graduates.
Yeah,
Uh,
sorry,
Lot of,
sorry,
yeah.
sir,
I can't hear you properly.
sir, hello,
Yeah, yeah, please go
sir,
ahead.
yes, sir. I'm a PharmD intern, sir, and I have a query relating to hiring of PharmD graduates. And part of your experience, how well you found PharmD graduates in PVC?
Yeah, pharmd graduates definitely have role in pharmacovigilance, right? PharmD graduates who are entering the PV field, and usually they are considered as with in line with other life science backgrounds. Okay, so of course I think field is open for you, and you can definitely opt for it if you are interested in the field.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Yeah, so I think students done with the questions, or we can take, if you are okay, sir, we can take couple of more
Yeah, maybe a
questions.
couple of last questions. Yeah, it's already 9:15, so I think we should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
students can.
students definitely have so many questions. I'm definitely
Yeah, yeah. So
liking
they
it,
can
but on
reach
the
out.
other end, we have to.
I understand,
Yeah,
sir. They can reach out to you on LinkedIn. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
through LinkedIn, or if
yeah,
you
yeah,
share
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
email.
I have shared. Yeah, yeah, I have shared the slide deck with you. So in the
Yeah.
last page, you will find that link for my LinkedIn account. But I think we
Yes.
can take two more questions, Priyanka.
Okay.
That's fine.
Great.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, students, please
Hello, sir.
go ahead.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Am I
Yeah, yeah,
audible?
I can. Yeah, yeah, you are
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah. This is Anand. So actually, I have completed my PhD in pharmacology after my master's. So I have
Okay.
different experience in
Uh,
the different field. Like I worked in the research, preclinical research. So after that, in the academics. So at
mm-hmm.
present, I'm working as a risk consultant in an insurance company. So where we
Okay.
used to analyze the risk of the pharmaceutical products and clinical
Mm.
trials to check the lawsuits, to prevent the lawsuits for the company.
Okay.
But we are reporting the risk in our own domain. We have our own format and as per the company.
Okay.
So still, I'll be considered as a fresher for a pharmacovigilance domain, or this can add value to pharmacovigilance when I.
Uh, See, PhD is definitely something which will be considered, I would say, because it's a highest level degree, right? So I don't think
Yeah.
it won't be considered. But on the other end, there should be some roles available like that, wherein they consider, because what companies will see, companies will only see that if we are getting some other candidates, they want to say, for example, for fresher, they want to take some for the fresher roles, they want to take some candidates who are already new, right? They just finished the course, because of course they will be settled at the salary which is that is currently ongoing as per the market trends. And on the other hand, if there are experienced candidate, then they will have some demands in terms of salary. At that time, they will also see like the work which you have done, whether it will be, how it can be benefited for the role which you want to apply for. Okay, so you have to justify yourself that, yeah, this is the reason why I think my experience will count for the role, and the hiring manager or HR should also agree to it. Then and then they will go ahead. Otherwise they will simply say, or they may consider that no, there is not a relevant experience, then why to give more salary to a candidate who don't have kind of relevant experience. So I think this again varies from on case to case basis, Dr. Anand. It's not like I cannot give you a kind of 100% sure answer about it,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a bit complicated, I would say. But you can try.
Sure.
You can definitely
Yeah.
try. And as I mentioned, you have to
And
justify
yeah.
that this is what I have done is will be helpful for this role.
Oh, okay, sir. And one final question. So when you're
Hmm.
talking about the profitability, the pharmacovigilance is less profitable department in the pharmaceutical company.
Uh-huh.
So is it good to try with the pharmacovigilance with the companies or with the consulting firms? Of course, the consulting firms, they are running on a profitable basis. So
Yeah.
it is better to go with the consulting firms or with the companies, core companies, they are running pharmacovigilance.
Yeah, so I think in one of the slide I mentioned that you have to choose between pharmaceutical company versus the contract research organization, right? So basically these are the consulting firms, or you can say vendors, who are taking care of the pharmacovigilance on behalf of the pharmaceutical company. So see, there is nothing like that. In company, there are some advantages in the form of, I would say, good work-life balance, and you also have a kind of good pay as compared to the contract research organization. On the other end, in contract research organization, you will be dedicated, you will be having a dedicated experience on one particular process. So suppose you are in ICSR, then you will only be stick to the ICSR if you are working in a CRO. If you are in RMP, you will only be working in RMP for the time where you are working. So you may have more knowledge of that particular domain, because you may be working on the RMP document of different clients. On the other hand, in the core company, you will only be able to understand your, because in core company nowadays, if you talk about the MNC, also including Merck, like you will be assigned to one product, and you have to you will be looking after everything of one product. So here, yeah, the work is more centered toward one product. On the other hand, in the CRO, they will be giving you one process, and where you have to perform the activities for different clients. So it's a bit different. And in CRO, like usually the workload is more as compared to the pharma company. But on the other hand, as I said, you will be able to learn more, and of course there will be options for switching. So usually what the people do is they take experience from the CRO, and then they just want to settle down in the pharma company for a kind of retirement. So this is a usual plan of the people, industry people, I would say.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
So I wanted to ask whether career gap makes a difference, and if it does, then which field is best to get into? Clinical research or data management or pharmacovigilance? Like,
Career gaps, I don't think it is an issue. And nowadays, some of the big companies, they are also like kind of accepting the applications for those, specifically the females who are having the career gaps. Of course, because of the marriage, because of the childs and all. So I don't see it as an issue. But of course, during that period, you should not be completely out of the industry. You should be having, you should be in touch somehow with what is happening in the industry. So that is not an issue, first of all. And second thing, with respect to domain, again, we cannot define it. Okay, it totally depends on you. After, if you have some experience in one field, you are taking a career gap of 1 to 2 years, and then again you are coming back. Most likely there are chances that you will be come back in the same field rather than with change in the field. But even though in case you want to change the field, there could be the options available for you, right? So because of some reason you don't want to continue with the same field, right? You want to explore some other field. I don't think there will be an issue to have changing the field.
so if we consider changing the field, like
Hmm.
I come from MBBS background, so I want to change into clinical, matlab pharmacological field. So
Hmm.
which one is the best to consider? Like which department?
Which department means you are asking for clinical
Like,
trials,
yeah,
pharmacovigilance, or clinical data management, likewise,
yeah.
or
Yes, sir, likewise.
yeah, see, again, no one can say which department is better. Okay, all the department have their own values, and you have to decide which department you want to go for. Okay, which department you interest you more. Okay, I think if you are having the course, you at least have some idea that okay, in which department what kind of activities are being undertaken, as we have discussed today. What are the pros and cons of pharmacovigilance? How to be a right fit. So by such type of sessions, you'll be understand that whether, like, at least you have some idea that okay, if the field is like this, maybe it will interest me. Or some other people say no, there is no traveling, then this job, it is monotonous, I don't want to do that. Then yeah, it's their interest, right? So you have to decide on your own. I don't think like I can tell you that this one is better. All have their own values in the field, in the pharma industry.
All right, so thank you.
Welcome. Okay, Priyanka. So I think we should now close the session, right? I hope
Yes, it's a
I
good
have
time.
answered. Yeah.
Thank you so much joining us, sir. And
Okay.
thank you so much for the valuable session. And we hope to
Thanks a
see
lot.
you in the future also, sir.
Sure, sure. Thanks a lot. Thank you to all the students. Maybe I'm not sure if the students can come on the cameras. Maybe we can take some picture for all
Yeah,
of
yeah.
all of us. I think it will be great.
Sure, sure, sure. Students,
It
I
was,
request all of you to please turn on your camera for just, 2-3 minutes.
yeah.
Let's take a screenshot at least. Students, can I have all of you on the camera? Just for a minute, I'm requesting. Thank you so much.
Okay, I hope you have taken the screenshot. I'm also taking.
Yes, sir. Done.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot, Priyanka, for this opportunity. I'm really thankful, and I hope I was able to justify what I was supposed to take, and I hope students are also like they have cleared their doubts, and I was able to clear their doubts. But yeah, as Priyanka mentioned, maybe I am available in LinkedIn, so if there are anything, please reach out. Yeah, there may be some delay. Don't expect that I will immediately reply, but yeah, I will try to reply and get back to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Definitely. Our students will
Thanks a
can
lot.
reach out to you on LinkedIn and from on valuable time and joining us today.
Okay. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Have a
Bye
nice
bye.
evening.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
sir.
Thank you, 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 sir.